of something larger than ourselves, a new world order.
We're at Darlington going to visit the police about fraud being committed by the council.
My name's Kenny, I'm from Darlington, and I'll just expose this racket for what it is.
We're using signatures of people that are not even employed by the council.
Ellie Brinkley's a Justice Clerk, hasn't been a Justice Clerk in over 2.5 years. Constable went to the council and said, oh, I've spoken to the council, and they said it's an admin error. It's fiction, it's absolute fiction, it's fraud on many scales.
There needs to be a criminal investigation put into this. You need to be reporting a crime today, and that's what we're here for.
Justice Clerk Cleveland is Richard Burke. Oh, there you are, that's fraud as well, that's criminal. The Clerk of the Court cannot sign off 972 liability orders. It has to be a judge or a magistrate or justice of the peace. Has to sign off liabilities. That's law. They denied it. They said there was no court hearing, and that was from the court. Lawfully, it should be sent by a court and sealed, because if they're going to get court bailiffs to go out, then obviously it's a court dealing. I've already got. Basically, the constable went to the council.
When was it you initially first reported it? Sorry.
Oh, a couple of weeks ago. We have discussed this matter with the Magistrates Court. Well, how can you when there wasn't one? And I can confirm the summons has been withdrawn. At what point have I said I'm refused to pay it? I'm saying, show me, show me, show me, and they're not.
Previous incidents being enclosed. I've just opened one there. I've rang our dispatch who said at the moment there's no one available, but unfortunately there's an awful lot of incidents that happen.
Yeah, well, this is criminal. This is a crime, and I feel a distress, so I need somebody right here now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What do you want to speak to me about?
Fraud.
Right. Well, I know a little bit about this.
Regarding this, simply because it protects us in what you're saying.
There's anything inside the police station. We'll record it. So record the interaction. We'll keep that. Can't stand here arguing all morning.
Well, stop arguing and let us in to record the conversation, please. Thank you.
There's a process in which you have to
And what is the process? What happened? What did they say?
He says, in my opinion, they're going through a system, and it's not a deceptive means, because I said you're working on the same authority. You're all working together. No, what I want you to do is act as a constable and go and get the evidence from the court. I can't see a problem. I'm not after your opinion. I want you to act on it, and he won't.
Here we are, 17th of November. We're back at the Darlington police station with Kenny. About to go in and see what's gone on with a reply to what we've been talking about with the council bills and the illegal paperwork that's been sent by the council. Any words on that, Kenny?
Yeah, 3rd of November, that Inspector McCarthy said it'd take 2 weeks to get back to me. He hasn't bothered ringing me. So what he said was the video would be made available to anybody. Twice he said that last time we were there on that video. So what I've done is I've got a form here, and it's called what's it called? Data Protection Act, Done Constabulary. How to apply for access to information held by the police.
Yeah.
So I've got the crime reference number that I reported. I've got it. Sergeant Flynn taking on his body cam. I'd like the little chat we had in that room behind me.
Yeah.
And let's go and see what happens then.
All right, cool, lads.
I'm getting wet now.
Excuse me, lads, you haven't got a spare spark.
I have, mate, at the minute.
Yeah.
Right there.
He's just filming this because we're doing a video on it. I've got to film in this subject access form here for a body cam that was done on a chat we had. And it's £10, and I've got 2 forms of ID. I've got to take a copy, stick on that and send it off. I can do that. And is there anybody available? It was 2 weeks ago we were here.
Get away from this.
2 weeks ago.
I can
Speak up a bit, Kenny.
Sign that and give you some idea.
Kenny, speak up a bit, mate.
Two forms of ID, have you?
Yeah, just check I've got that right. What's the? Can you have a look at that reference number? It was the 3rd. I think it was. Can you check for us what date that was on that crime reference? We were here 2 weeks ago.
Right, so it's the crime reference number.
Yeah.
That's the date there that.
Oh, it's the 1st of November, was
Yeah.
it? So it's
If
the 1st
that's,
of
if
November.
that's the crime reference number
Yeah.
you've been given, what
Yeah.
happens is the middle part of your crime reference number is the date.
All right, so
It's
is
been
that the 1st of
reported.
November?
It'll be the 1st of November 2000.
All right, so it's over 2 weeks then.
All right, okay.
It's well over 2 weeks then. Since
Right,
that.
I'll see when.
Is the inspector? Is he?
I'll
in?
see
Or
when
is
he's
he on?
on. I'll just leave that there a second. I'll go and see when Inspector McCarthy's on.
Okay.
Right.
Again.
Right, so we'll turn it off until we get a reply.
Yeah.
So basically, what they're saying there, Kenny?
That is your. That's the date. So it's the 1st of November 2014. That's when it was recorded here when we did the video.
Right.
So it was the 1st of November we had that video.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's over 2 weeks, and that inspector hasn't rang me back to give me an update on what his investigation was supposed to be doing with. So
We'll soon find out then, won't we? Oh, here we go.
Actually on rest days today and tomorrow, and he's on shift 7 till 3 on Wednesday.
Okay.
Alright.
Can we make a date then to come and see him? Because he hasn't phoned up or anything.
I can't book an appointment. It's unfortunately it would just be coming down and say on Wednesday he is on shift, like say between 7 and 3, coming down and seeing if he's available to have a chat with.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah.
So what date again? Sorry.
Is it on
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
2 forms of ID.
So there's nobody available today. No.
No, there's no one.
There's no chief inspector in here today.
It's a chief inspector because it's been over 2 weeks.
Right, I can certainly check for you.
Yeah.
What's it in relation to, just so that I can have a bit of an idea as to.
Fraud. It's not alleged fraud, but actual fraud. It's getting beyond the joke. Actually, it's nothing to do with that. I mean, we're doing this purely to show everybody. Council fraudulent.
Right, so I can certainly see if there's anybody available to have a chat with you. What's your name, please?
Ken Williams.
Oh, did it fill out for it?
Do you want to do this? Do you want to do this first?
You want to do that first?
Copy that and that. There's
Do you have your photo card part?
Mhm. Sorry about that.
Right. So it's just information in relation to what you've reported.
Yeah, there's a body cam interview with Sergeant Flynn and Inspector McCarthy. They said they wouldn't video out here, we had to go in there. So they said it's available to anybody. So, okay. So can I have it then? But yeah, it's 40 days to request it, etc. But yeah, we'll see.
It's what, 40 days to request the video that we took? It takes 40 days for you to get it?
Could take 40 days, yeah. We didn't tell you that. He just slammed the door on you, didn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't say, by the way, you do it this way, and that's how that's a procedure. Didn't tell you how to do it. Just said it's available to anybody.
Well, it seemed to me like he was trying to avoid the whole question the last time we came about how we got hold of the video from 2 weeks ago.
Over 2 weeks ago.
And it's a bit rude of the police officer not even to give you a reply, isn't it, when he said he's going to give you a call, eh? Somebody's not doing the job properly. Treating you with contempt in my eyes, mate.
It's only an opinion.
It is only an opinion, eh? From the video footage to me, though, it seems to be fact, not just opinion.
Right, I'll just go and photocopy your documents first, right? I'll just put all this here just so you can still see the £10 there, and I'll just go and photocopy it.
And the Chief Inspector.
Yeah, see if
Right, we'll turn it off while we see if we can get a response.
Right, I'll give you your...
Okay.
Documents returned. Yes. Application says 17th. So you've just completed it today? Yep. No, not yet.
Yes, in Stephen, Stephen Road, Northeast West.
Kind of go around the back's the Pratt that CID came round. You just walk through there, the pink top.
Right. Who's it? Sorry, which CID guy?
Yes, but
Can't remember what his name was again now. Find out though.
What was that concerning?
Can't deal with it. Yeah, I'll make it about that later on.
Mhm.
that's very nice.
I've signed that as well, but can you just sign it just to say that you're handing over the £10? Right. There's your receipt.
Yep.
So I keep all of this. I'll fill this bottom part out while you're here so you can see me finish the form off.
So that'll go off to Peter Lee.
Right.
We've got 40 days.
What is that for? So explain to the
video.
viewers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the video on his body cam.
Yeah.
A little chat we had. I know the inspector was dealing with it, but it's been over 2 weeks now, and it's not acceptable for somebody not to get back within 2 weeks when it's so serious.
I do understand that, but if it's been Inspector McCarthy that's been dealing with it, it'll be him that has all the information in relation to whatever. I don't know what it is that you've come in for, but in relation to if it's Inspector McCarthy that's dealing with it, he will have all the information. What I can do is I can email him, like I say, he is back on shift on Wednesday.
What time? What time's he on shift?
It was. I will double check.
Yeah, we'll come down.
Right, can I say my argument here is that at the end of the day, all of it should be on record for any other police officer to pick up the case and have a look at it before we get an interview today about what's going on so far. And now you're telling me that only Inspector Metcalf can deal with it? That's absolute rubbish.
I'm not saying it's only him that can deal with it.
You did just say that. You did just say that.
I know it's not you. I know what's going on.
Right, so I don't know anything about it.
The thing is,
Yeah, you wouldn't, but the police officers will know something about it. It should be on record.
Is it in relation to one of his members of staff of his shift?
no, it's to report a crime, and we've reported the crime, which is fraud, and we've shown, I think it was something like 4,000 people this, and they all agree it's fraud. We had a discussion with him, and he said, well, I'll
Speak
look
up
at
a
it,
bit.
and I'll get back to it in 2 weeks. And in that time he hasn't, in over 2 weeks, so it's not important to him, because what I did is I discovered this within days, yeah? Within a day, I threw it out the window. So 2 weeks for an inspector who's got sergeants and constables underneath him to do this is ridiculous. If it doesn't get resolved, I'll take it even further and I'll go national with it. But we've already gone live with it on YouTube, and it's been quite funny actually. It's quite sad. Honestly, you're not part of it, you're just in the middle of it. But it's quite sad how the council and police are trying, and the court are trying to shut this down, and they're trying to put a lid on it. And they can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just exposing them every single time. We're just exposing them. You're wrong. That's not recorded. You're wrong. You're wrong. It's fraud. It's fraud. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It is. Seriously, I've done it just purely to blow them out the window. And now making a right mess of it. They're making a right mess of it. But for an inspector to not get back in over 2 weeks, that's just disgusting, really.
Fortunately, I can't.
Yeah, I know you.
Right, is there anybody available today then, please? Because it does need resolving, and there is more than one police officer. The records should be on the computer, so any police officer should be able to look up these records and find out what's going on and tell us what the proceeds, what's been happening so far as the investigation is concerned with the council themselves and the fraud and deception that's going on. You know, can't be just Mr. Metcalf, can it?
I'll see if there's anyone available.
Thank you very much. Cheers. So it looks like we're hitting the same boulders all over again, eh? Yeah.
These guys can come through with me as well. Is that all right?
Well, who are they?
They're my friends.
No, we just need to
I'm
speak
a legal observer to see what's going on with this.
your credentials from which practice you're from?
No, I'm not from a practice.
Mr.
I'm a
William
Mackenzie
Field,
friend and a
yeah.
legal observer, my friend.
Inspector,
Could I get your name, please? Could I get your name, please?
Inspector Knox.
Inspector Knox, could I get your number, please?
My number?
Yeah.
No, you've been giving me the name. Would you like
Sorry,
to come
Inspector
through?
Knox, you're a public servant, and I'm
you
asking you
come
for your
through.
name and number, please.
You can come through on
Yeah.
your own.
Yeah, you do this all the time. You did it last time with Inspector McCarthy.
I'm asking you to come
Yeah.
through, Ken. Are you coming through because this is a public office?
Exactly, it's
Right.
a public office.
So are you going to come
Exactly,
through?
it is a public
Right, well,
office.
if you don't want to see me through
Right,
enough,
can we see you through here then, please?
Can we
There's
see
nobody,
through?
No, I've
there's
asked to
nobody
see Ken
refusing.
through here.
Can we
right?
see you through here then, please?
Do you want to come-
Right, Ken, do you want to go see him then? Is this the arrogance that the police have got towards the general public who are reporting a crime?
Yeah.
Is this it? Is this how it comes to? Thank you.
Only they can deal with it.
We're just at the police station. He's just come back out. He's been in literally 2 minutes, eh, Kenny? What are they saying, mate?
Again, can't be bothered. Nothing to do with us. It's funny how it's an inspector and a sergeant come out, isn't it? That's what I said to them. Isn't
Right.
that funny having an inspector and sergeant come out and deal with it? Right. We've spoke to him. It's the paperwork's here, and Sergeant Flynn is looking into it. Okay. It's on film anyway, mate.
Did you ask him the questions?
No, I didn't ask him the question because it's nothing to do with him.
Right.
That's what you say. I have nothing to do with it. And I said, right, so they've had 2 and a bit weeks to deal with it. Yeah, but it's to do with them, and they're on shifts. Made an excuse about being on shifts, etc. I says, right, so they can't delegate to their constables to do this investigation. Is that what you're saying? No, got arrogant, and then it started to be really, abrupt.
Yeah. So what did they say about the actual
I'm not
investigation?
talking anymore. Right, get out of the office and all the rest. So basically, I've just explained to them that people come down to report a crime, that the council are committing fraud on a massive scale with the magistrates, all intertwined. I have the evidence to prove this. Perjury, 1911 Act, impersonating a magistrate, impersonating a frigging justice clerk on many levels, yeah? And
Yep.
they won't look into it.
Yeah.
So I'll take it further.
Disgusting,
And
isn't it?
I'll take civil action. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Over and out, YouTube.
Hey?
We don't have a Sergeant Flynn.
You do, because it just says Sergeant Flynn. Finn.
Finn? Yeah.
Finn.
He's not a sergeant.
Is the gentleman that you've just dealt with, is
No,
that who you wanted
no.
to know about?
No.
Right. So when have you dealt with a Sergeant Flynn?
1st of November.
Or Finn.
Finn. It'll be
There's
Finn
a
then.
PC Finn.
Sorry, could I get your number, please?
You certainly can. Yeah, 654.
Could I get your name as well, please? Sergeant Finn. Could I get
PC Finn. In that case, can I have that paperwork that I'm going to submit to Peter Lee for the interview for the camera thing? Yeah. Can you get it? Because I'll re-amend it. Yeah. Finn.
So right, what's going on here? So initially you saw an inspector the first time round, and now the inspector. Oh right, hold on a minute.
So it's Finn, yeah. I'll just put it on it for a sergeant there. Sergeant. It just said sergeant there. Sure it was. F-I-double-N, yeah?
Right, so that's just amending the document.
Yes, amended. It's PC Finn's body camera we need. But we've already predicted it will go missing. Or it won't be available. So.
Yeah. I'll go back now.
Yeah. So when's he not on duty? Because he's actually supposedly dealing with this. Apparently.
Was that the chap with the camera?
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
So they'll give the job to that guy.
Yeah.
Right. So they passed it down from chief inspector. Sorry.
Yeah, the inspector said he'd look at it, and now he's
down to
on
PC.
On the paperwork, he's passed it on to a PC. So
Yeah.
in the 2 weeks, there's nothing being done about it.
So a PC is a police officer. Surely it would be the crimes prevention people, or CID or something like that, because it's a crime, isn't it? Surely it'd be
came to my
CID.
house, didn't they? They were all over me
Yeah.
at one point.
Well, but you'd be expecting CID to be investigating this, not a PC.
Yeah.
It's fraud and deception, isn't it?
On a criminal
On a
level,
massive
but,
scale.
Fraud is criminal. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Fraud is fraud.
In the little, where the computers
Video I might have said it got closed.
He said it might have got closed.
We'll have a look at it.
Is this today?
No,
Yeah.
I think it's getting reported by IPC and him. I'm going straight over, straight for him. My car.
Yeah, really.
IPC, Natasha from IPC.
Wednesday, that's 10 o'clock start and 7 in the morning.
10 o'clock at night or 7 in the morning. How is a PC going to investigate fraud and deception? I'm just wondering about that. How would a PC be able to?
She's just on count.
Right, my question is to you then.
10 o'clock at
How
night.
is a PC qualified to deal with fraud and deception? Surely there should be CID investigating this,
Well,
not a PC.
CID came to my house.
Over and out, YouTube. Right, here we are at Darlington Police Station, waiting to see Inspector McCarthy.
Yeah.
It's 7 o'clock in the morning. He's due to arrive at work any minute now. The reason why we're hanging out round the back of the police station is to make sure that he comes in and that we're not lied to about whether he's in or out the building at the time. So here we go. It's 10 to 7. I'm sure it's going to be a bit of a surprise for him, like us stood waiting to see him at this time in the morning, but hopefully it'll be fruitful. Got any words to say about that, Kenny?
No, but he's on duty, isn't he? So may as well turn up first thing in the morning instead of hanging around at 11 till about 1.
Yep.
So get out of the way and find out what PC Finn's done. It wasn't Sergeant Finn, it was PC Finn apparently. So
Yeah, we need to verify whether it is PC or Sergeant, because we've been told two different stories. We need to ask him questions also about the fact that if it's a fraudulent activity that's going on, then surely either the fraud squad should be investigating this, not a PC or even.
CID, yeah. Because we have all the documents that intertwine the court.
Yeah.
So they're in it as well, which isn't funny.
Anyway, over and out for now, YouTube, until he comes.
Laters.
I'm afraid the lights are off at the minute, so
7:10 now. 7:10.
Right, so let's ring the bell and see if he's available. Oh, it is open.
That's the guy we want to be talking to. That chap there.
Is that the chief inspector?
Yeah. How he feels about it. It was in the news last night that you can't believe 15% of crimes unreported.
15% of crime.
15%.
Yeah.
I think it was about 28% of Northumbria wasn't reported. I think a lot of that was rape as well.
Yeah, there was something going on about that on the news, wasn't there, the other day? Just to confirm, the time is now 7 minutes past 7. We're not getting any response ringing the bell, so we'll just ring the bell again. And hopefully we'll get some kind of response. Looks like the police station's shut down at the moment though, because there's no lights or anything on. I'll give it another 15 minutes YouTube and then we'll ring the bell again, so we can get some kind of response. Turn the light on in here, please.
No. I'll just ignore us.
Right, that's officer's just come to the desk and we've just said excuse me, and he's just ignored us and walked away. It's now 7:20, so, and the lights still haven't been turned on in the police station foyer. Excellent behaviour.
Yeah. Did you expect him, yeah? No, but he was supposed to ring me weeks ago and he hasn't bothered.
Could you please turn the lights on in here for me, please? It shouldn't be open. It was already open. I think someone's probably just not locked the police station up on a night time, eh? So the police station should have been locked up. Who's let you in? He said. So they've left the front door open.
It's a public office, isn't it?
That was interesting. Right, over and out again, YouTube. Excuse me, officer. Oh, just been ignored again.
Okay, just been ignored again. Nice.
So I'm presuming that Inspector McCarthy is instructing people not to talk to us.
No.
And it is now 7:20.
I don't think mooching around. That's why don't they want to talk to us?
I don't know.
Why do they just ignore people when you come to a police station these days? When I was a kid, I'd just come to a police station, there's always a police officer there to have a bit of chat with you.
Yeah.
Always. This is it's a bloody joke, this.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. I don't get involved with stuff like this, but this is just proves to me how incompetent these people are. Just how arrogant they are. How it is. I don't know. It's just, why are they doing this? Why are they treating people with contempt? Why are they treating people like dirt?
Yeah.
And having this attitude? It's not right. At the end of the day, it's like you say, they're public servants.
Yep.
They work for you. You pay your taxes for this. And when you report a crime, you get hassle, and then you come down to have a chat with them. You're obviously on duty. There's more pressing things, is there?
I doubt it.
More pressing things. I can't have 5 minutes to give you an update. 5 minutes, that's all I'm asking. I need 2 minutes, 1 minute of their time would be nice.
Yeah.
How's it going? What are you doing?
Right, open up for another minute or two until we get an answer.
Well, I did say I would get in touch when I'm concluded. I managed to speak to the council and I've spoken to the magistrate's clerk, Graham Garbett. I'm waiting on one other thing, and then I was going to write to you. So at the minute I'm at somebody else's mercy, so to speak, because I'm waiting for them to reply to me. But I have spoken to Down Borough Council, like I say, the manager of the benefits department, and the magistrate's clerk. So I've got most of the information together. I just need one other thing. So what I'll do is I'll just write a letter to you when I've concluded my investigation.
The thing is, Inspector, I've actually got more evidence to prove that the court are lying, and the council again are lying, because there has been no court hearings. Because I did a Trust Online report, and there never is a hearing. And this is national. Do you understand? This is really serious. How serious this is.
Right. Well, like I say, I'm looking into it. You know, you've explained the whole thing to me, and you're looking into it. And the issue with the court case is also being considered. Whether a court case went.
There hasn't been no court case. I've got the evidence to prove that.
Right. So, and what evidence is that then? How
you go and Trust Online. If you or I or anybody was in court and you had a judgment against you, it has to be registered. Yeah. Nothing's been registered. Right, so that says to me that there is no court hearing. Like I said before, there is no court hearing, right? So it has to be on a register. So you do a search, costs you £10. You do a search, and then you find out there's nothing there. So you do another one, nothing there. Okay, so there is no court hearing.
And where's the result of this search then? Is that electronically?
It's the Lord Chief Justice's register.
Right. Well,
online.
Well, okay then. Can I ask you a favour? Can you print me that off? And can you put it in an envelope and drop it off here for me? And I'll have a look at that.
Mr. Metcalf, do you want copies of everything that we've got on the council as well? Because it'd be helpful for you, wouldn't it?
I've got copies of certain stuff, but if that's something new, then give me a copy, photocopy it, and drop it here, and I'll have a look at it.
It's just I'm not messing around here. This is quite serious. This is really serious because, like I said,
right. Well, like I said, I'm looking into it.
Yeah.
I've spent quite a lot of time. I've been over to the council. I've spoken to the Mr. Garbett, who's gone through stuff, and he's forwarded me certain correspondence. So I need to check one other thing, and I'm waiting on somebody else to get back to me, which I'm doing. And then once I've done that, I'll write to you. Okay. But if you could drop that off today, that'd be great, and I'll have a look at it.
Can I ask you another question? Why isn't the fraud squad looking into it?
To be honest, Mackenzie friend is something that is not relevant under these circumstances.
I don't think you understand what a Mackenzie friend is, and I don't mean to be funny with you.
What a Mackenzie friend is somebody in a common law court, such as a divorce court, where a friend comes. It's not in relation to a process within a police station.
Well, I can.
So if you'll do that for me, Mr. Williams, I'd appreciate that. If you just put it in an envelope, drop it off for my attention this morning, I'll have a look at it. And then I will get back to you once I've completed my inquiries.
How long will that take? Because I'm taking.
Well, I'll chase them up today, and hopefully I might be in a position to get back to you.
Because you haven't rang me in 2 weeks. You said
what did I say? I said that once I've finished my inquiries, a couple of weeks. Give me a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I've been on nights. I've only been on back shift over the weekend, which I managed to get most things done.
You not delegate to other people, you know?
Well, then I have to tell somebody else about the whole circumstances. It's not an efficient way of doing it, isn't it?
It took me 5 minutes, Inspector, to find it out.
Right, well, that's a situation, okay? I will get back to you once I've concluded my inquiries.
Yeah.
Okay?
There's another question you need to ask him as well about the CCTV, the recording from the interview from the last time you came.
Yeah, was it PC Finn that was with us, or was it Sergeant Finn?
No, PC, well, it was Acting Sergeant Finn.
It was an acting sergeant, so I put down PC Finn on the access request form.
So you need to adjust that.
It's still identified.
I've done that anyway.
Right.
That's all right. The civil action will be taken against the CEO, and any agents from the council that come to my house, I'll be ringing Darlington Police to have them arrested for harassment.
Because if they're in possession of a recovery order from the court,
which it doesn't exist.
Well, if they are, then that's the lawful process.
Well, they haven't. Yeah. So that'll be harassment.
So we'll have to deal with that if or when what happens. Okay.
Well, your constables will be ringing because I'm serious about this. I'm not messing. Look, I'm a former soldier. I'm a veteran for peace. I'm a guy that's exposing this nonsense. All right, and I can keep going until I keep going. I know your little game. And I'm exposing it, right? So if you want to try and covering it all up, like the court's trying to cover up with this nonsense letter they just sent me. I'm just blown it out of the water. Every time I get a letter from these people, instantly, you're talking nonsense, because I've got the evidence.
Okay, well, I'm not going to argue about it. So that's the situation. Yeah. Okay, I'll get back in touch with you. I'll write to you when my inquiries are complete, and we'll go from there.
Well, civil action will be taken against the CEO.
Right. Well,
maybe the court as well.
That's something. That's your prerogative. That's something you've got to decide you want to do. And
because the complaint isn't going anywhere, is it?
I'll do what I said I'd do. Okay?
Yeah.
I'll finish my inquiries and I'll write to you.
And,
okay?
Yeah. Is it going to go to the CPS?
Well, I don't know yet because I'm not 100% certain where we're at with it. Like I say, I'm waiting on another piece of information.
About 4,000 people wanted to go to CPS, by the way. It's all on YouTube. You can go and watch it if you want. Truth Machine, alleged fraud, and that's just on our side.
Right.
So
well, that's your allegation. Whether that is actually true or not is another matter. Okay.
Yeah.
So bear with me. I will get back to you, like I said I would, within the timescales that I said I would. Okay. But unfortunately today I'm still waiting on somebody else, which is beyond my control. But I will chase them up. And if you can photocopy those documents and just hand them in, I'll have a look at them this morning.
Just proves there has been no hearing. Nationwide they do this, so there is no hearing, therefore there is no summons, therefore there is no liability. So.
Well, okay, that's the legal process. If you want to challenge that, then that's,
I don't want to challenge it. I want somebody else
your prerogative.
And Richard Burton is the Justice Clerk these days. Have you asked him why, in his position, he's let this go for so long? Because Linda has, council have been using Linda's signature for a couple of years now. And she's now the Justice Clerk for Northumbria. And when I exposed it, they withdrew it, and the court actually said, right, well, you realise that, and now it's Richard that's doing it. Right, okay, so Richard...
I don't think there's no dispute about that.
Yeah,
there's no dispute about that.
Yeah, so in his position...
That has happened.
Yeah, for that amount of years, he's been letting it go, so that's, ridiculous.
I don't think the council or the magistrates court are disputing that. I think that has happened.
Well, he needs kicked out of office, because that is... ridiculous. To let that go on for such a scale is absolutely nonsense.
Right. Well, what I'm concentrating on is whether any criminal offences have been committed. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. Whether you've made an allegation of a fraud.
Just fraud. It's a guarantee. It's 100% fraud.
Yeah. There's various offences under the Fraud Act and perjury, so that's what I'm looking at. Okay, and whether there's a criminal offence being committed. If the court are not denying what you're saying about the summons with that lady's name on it. There's no dispute about that. They've acknowledged that. They've acknowledged that to me and to you. It's not a point of dispute. And probably I don't know. I mean, I'm not an expert on magistrates' court procedures, but those procedures were probably not genuine, if you like. And therefore, I think they've withdrawn them, haven't they? And they've started from the beginning. And now you're saying there wasn't a court case.
No. It's
so fast. Like I say, I've got to concentrate on whether there's been a criminal offence, whether there's been fraud or a perjury. Okay, and that's what I'm concentrating on.
Yeah. Well, 4,000 people agree with me.
Right. Well, I'm not disagreeing with the process of what's happened. It's your interpretation of liability, if you like.
This is serious. Everyone's shocked with this, and the whole town is in uproar.
Everybody, you're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to your position. Okay, and you're entitled to take whatever action you deem necessary. I'm concentrating on whether there's a criminal offence. Okay.
Yeah. Can I just say thanks a lot for this, and we do need the police force to back us on this. So you do work for the public, and if people in power are taking, advantage of their position, then you should be. We need guys like you on board with us, with the public, and investigating properly. We appreciate that.
It's a criminal offence, right? Criminal offence. Whether CPS could prove a criminal offence is the position that we go.
Absolutely.
So you have to be able to have the evidence to prove that.
Okay? We have the evidence.
There's been a procedure that's been flawed, if you like. I don't know however you want to describe it, and nobody's arguing about that. That's been acknowledged. But whether that's a criminal offence, I'm taking advice.
Should we go get this paperwork and bring it straight back here then that you've got?
Just put it in an envelope, leave it for me. I'm I've got some meetings to go to this morning, so I won't be around for a couple of hours. But if you do that, I'll look at that today, okay? And I'll chase up the person that I'm waiting for.
You'll see it. There's never been a court, never is.
Thanks a lot anyway.
Okay.
That was a good result for a change, eh, Kenny?
Yeah, that was
How to say, mate?
Yeah,
cool.
We did start to get a bit defensive there, and then he calmed down a bit. We realised.
Yep.
You know, what say to him.
There you go. Over and out YouTube. Finally got a decent response off the police force. So here we are back from the police station. As you can see from the video, the response that the police have given us, and they are doing further investigations. Now, since we've been to the police station, they've sent Kenny a letter, which is 2 days after we'd seen him. So, Kenny, what is the police officer saying, or is it somebody?
I'll read it out. I'll read his letter actually. What he said. This is Inspector McCarthy, Kevin McCarthy from Darlington. He said, further to our meeting on Saturday, 1st of November 2014, where you reported that Darlington Borough Council, South Durham Magistrates Court, had committed the following criminal offences. Fraud, namely fraud by false representation, making or supplying articles for use in frauds, and perjury. He has investigated these allegations, and he is satisfied that no criminal offences have been committed, on the basis that no dishonest false representation has been made. Number 2, no gain was to be made as the purpose was to recover a lawful debt. No loss would occur as the monies involved were a lawful debt. Right. No offence under Section 7, making or supplying articles for use in frauds, brackets, makes knowing that it is designed or adapted for use in the course of or in connection with fraud, or intending it to be used to commit or facilitate fraud, close brackets. Due to the fact no offence of fraud was made out. And the last point, the Perjury Act 1911 created various offences in relation to making false statements in judicial and certain other proceedings. Section 1 creates the offence where a witness or interpreter in a judicial proceeding wilfully makes a false statement. The prosecution must prove that false statement was made wilfully, deliberately or intentionally, and not accidentally or mistakenly. Therefore, no wilful act took place and therefore no offence occurred. That's Inspector McCarthy's. That's it.
Summarise that.
One last piece, sorry. I will not be recording a criminal offence as defined by law, and no further investigation will take place. Please consider this matter is now concluded with the man's signature.
Right, I'd just like to mention that what he's done there is in his own judgment. Like I said from the beginning, in my opinion, we didn't ask for his opinion, and you can see in the video there we said he's going to report to the CPS. Well, that old chestnut, excuse after excuse again.
So the CPS, basically, just to explain to the general public, the CPS, in case anybody doesn't know who's viewing this video, CPS are people who look at the evidence and decide whether charges are going to actually be brought or not. It's not down to the inspector to make that decision.
It's him just to investigate.
It's his job to investigate and decide whether it's worth passing on to the CPS.
Absolutely.
Or it should be.
And he's made the decision that it won't be passed on.
But he's made the decision it's not going to be passed on, even though we're only actually talking about 972 cases, but in fact there's 2.5 years worth of this per month. This is prior to the 972 that we're actually talking about.
I like the last bit on that. Where's that letter from him?
So
the last bit there where he mentioned accidentally or mistakenly. How can 2.5 years be accidentally or mistakenly? And if that's the case that you were saying before, Linda Brinkley, the former Justice Clerk, was out of office for over 2 years, so that is not accidental or mistaken. And Richard Burton is in his position now. What on earth has he been doing as a Justice Clerk to let that continue for so long?
Especially taking into consideration that they say I, the undersigned, have had in front of me today, and a signature on the bottom. He obviously hasn't had anything, and neither has she had anything in front of her, because she wasn't there, and he wasn't interested, obviously.
That's not a mistake. That's not a mistake.
We have another letter here from the HM Courts and Tribunals Service. This is from Newton Aycliffe, which is the area, they're based in Newton Aycliffe in County Durham.
Right.
Reference Mr. Williams. Council tax. This is from a guy called Graham Garbett. He is the Deputy Justice's Clerk for County Durham. They must have a lot of people. Deputy, another deputy. Everybody's got another deputy.
I actually addressed it to the Justice Clerk, but there you go.
Right. Thank you for your letter dated 31st of October 2014. I hope the following explanation will address the matters you have raised. Actually, they don't, but there we go. The summons addressed to you dated 24th of June was withdrawn by the Council when it was noted that it contained signatures of Mrs. Brinkley, the former Justice's Clerk. It wasn't noted by them. It was actually given to them by Kenneth that they had it there, and it had been there for the past 2.5 years. Right. As explained in the letter sent to you by the man in Darlington, Mr. Anthony Sandys, dated the 10th of July 2014, council tax amounting to the relevant amount remained outstanding, and failure to pay the amount in full would result in further recovery action being taken against you. Right. On the 22nd of July, the council commenced further proceedings. Further proceedings with a fresh complaint.
Which I didn't receive.
Which nobody received.
So you never received, hold on, can I hold you there?
Sure.
So you never got a summons?
No.
A renewed summons?
No.
At all?
And the woman in the council, this is how pathetic they are, because they always say put something in writing and they just twist it around and mess on for weeks. But I can guarantee you, she turned around to me and said, we haven't got it. And I said to her, where is it then? And she said, oh, we sent it out to you and we only have one copy and that goes to you.
That's another point just to bring up.
Just swing that one in there. I'll just tell you this now, that subject to any particular requirement to the court, right? You should send 3 copies of each summons to the court with the information, unless the court has agreed to serve the summons. The original and the copy summons will be returned to you to serve, which is what they should be doing, serving it out to the individuals. Having been signed by a Justice of the Peace or the Justice Clerk, which clearly hasn't been done because they've been skimming it themselves by putting Linda's name on it for so long. But in Inspector McCarthy's opinion, that's nothing to worry about.
That's nothing, that's not
It's an admin error. And showing the date of the first hearing known as the return date, etc. So what they're saying here is there's a court date, come out, should be served as soon as possible, maybe serving the individual corporation, and then it says proof. What you need to have there is a certificate of service, because what they're saying is you should return then, you should then return a copy of the original summons to the court with a certificate of service. So, on Monday, because we went to the court and we were basically called liars in this letter, which we'll get to, we asked them for the court hearing evidence. Where there was a court on the 20th of August, there wasn't one. Right? They haven't got anything, they had nothing. If they got nothing, give us something to say you've got nothing, they wouldn't do it. Now, what they have to have is a copy of the original summons at the court and a certificate of service. Now, on Monday...
For each, may I just say, for each person?
For each individual, that's 970 odd people. They have to have that. So on Monday, we'll go and request that.
I'll carry on with this. Let's say that on the 22nd of July, the Council commenced further proceedings with a fresh complaint. The Court authorised the issue of a new summonses for 20th of August 2014, that's to appear at Darlington Magistrates Court, all of which, just so happens, contained the signature of Richard Burton, the new man 2.5 years ago. The Justice's Clerk for County Durham and Darlington.
All of them. 970.
So this is 972. We'll come to the 972 because they actually state it in this letter. This man, Mr. Garbett, he has contacted the acting team leader at Newton Aycliffe, to whom we spoke about the 20th of August. Her recollection is that she did not state that no hearing took place, but explained that the court computer does not record the names of all the defendants listed at the hearing. The fact they should have a certificate. The total number of liability orders. So where's the 972 certificates of service to start with?
Where's the names? So he weren't on it. But that's a lie in itself, because if they had said that to us, we would have said, well, show me it. But they had nothing apparently. So
to be honest, when we went there, nobody would actually come and talk to us. Not one person. We went through the metal detector, through the scanner, searched, we stood there and asked for somebody if they can come and explain something to us. There was nobody, and we had to actually deal with a very nice lady who works for G4S, and she had the embarrassment of having to act as a third party on the telephone between ourselves and somebody. We don't know who it was.
They wouldn't come down.
Wouldn't come down, wouldn't address us, wouldn't give us a name, would give us absolutely no information whatsoever.
Right.
We're not interested. That's where Kenneth actually got who is the Justice's Clerk from Her Majesty's Court's compliment slip, which you saw in the previous part 1. And that's where that came from, and that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all looking a bit twisted.
Absolutely, this very moment in time it is. I'll read this last...
So at this point, can we just touch on the fact that you downloaded some documents that you'd researched to see if you had actually been at court?
If you look behind us on the green screen, you pull it up, but this is actually... what it is the Registry Trust, operates the Register of Judgments, orders, fines, basically anything that happens in a court has to be registered to the Lord Chancellor. It's administered on behalf of the Ministry of Justice. So this particular company, which you can see behind me, it's an online
screen as well.
It's an online thing, and you can search it. And
just have a quick look. And you can search for
anything. Absolutely anything. Judgments, fines, defaults, orders, liability orders, child, CSA, everything's got to be logged. And what they'll have is a description on the back here, and they'll tell you what type description of it, registered in county court or magistrates, anything. Anything with your date of birth, the court case number, date.
Yeah, so you pulled two. You pulled two.
So
of
I put
those
two of them. I put two of them in.
Which ones did you pull up then?
I put in fines, defaults, and orders and judgments.
And what did he say on that?
Nothing registered.
Right. Can I have a look at the other one? And what was the other one you?
And that was the orders and judgments, and the other one was just fine defaults, just for fun. I put two of them in.
So and the probe said.
And the computer said no, not registered.
Therefore, the computer says no.
Okay.
So where's the court then?
The last paragraph on this letter
on that one,
from Mr. Garbett
Yeah.
really is quite good. I can confirm that there was a hearing on the 20th of August 2014 at Darlington where the court heard evidence from the council that a summons had been sent out on 22nd of July 2014 to all of the defendants on the accompanying table. That's 972 summonses were sent out for appearance at Darlington Court on the 20th of August 2014.
And can I just add that everybody will be getting charged £80 for each of those hearings as well. You can add the sums up on top of that as to how much that comes to in money terms. Carry on, right?
We know exactly there was no court hearing. We've been informed by the court there was no court hearing. We've been informed by Darlington, we've been informed by Aycliffe. There was no court hearing. They know there was no court hearing.
Yeah.
As you can see, the liability order dated 20th of August 2014 was made in relation to 972 defendants, including yourself. The order may be signed either by one of the adjudicating magistrates or the clerk of the court present. On this occasion, it was signed by the clerk. I am satisfied that the proceedings were conducted in accordance with the Council Tax Administration and Enforcement Regulations 1992. Sorry to tell you they were not.
No.
And therefore the complaint and summonses dated 22nd of July 2014 and the liability order dated 20th of August 2014 were valid. If you are not satisfied with my explanation, you may write to his boss. Not to him, to his boss.
I could write another letter and get some more flannel.
What I'd like to know is, what would they have done if 972 people had appeared at Darlington Magistrates Court? How do we know they didn't?
Yeah. Right, well, we don't know that. We don't exactly know that, but I don't think I've ever seen that many people at the Magistrates Court on any day of the week as I've walked past the place, and I don't think I ever have.
Could they even handle 972 people in a week?
I think physically speaking, and the amount of hours in the day, there wouldn't be the time to do that. So they're basically rubber stamped.
It's called passing off, which is illegal. Passing off is not lawful, as the inspector says. Lawful.
Right.
That's not lawful. Passing off isn't right.
So basically, to sum it all up, as far as it's going so far, it's been it's been looked at. The police are saying it's not worth investigating or passing on to the CPS or even the fraud squad to investigate to see if it needs to be passed to the CPS. We've proved the fact that the court cases didn't actually exist because none of them were listed. Well, we know that yours wasn't listed, and I'm sure that if you was on that list and other people, the other 972 people did it, then they wouldn't be on the list as well. But we don't know who these people are, so we can't prove that, but we can only presume, I think, judging by the way it's gone with you, Kenny.
It's roughly about 75 grand, I think.
Yeah. It's shocking. Right. It's everything we've done in this video just proves how twisted they are. Yeah. The police are in the same little boat as they are. And I told them that. You can see on the video there, I told them that. We know your little game. And every time you try something, we just proved you wrong. And then they twist it again. They ignore the fact that, in the video he actually says there's no denying. There's no denying that they've done this. So somebody must be held accountable then. And he seems to think they're idiots. So forget that, they've done it all right, so
the Justice of the Peace, Justice Clark's, the Justice of the Clerk, I'm corrected there. The Justice of the Clerk is the person that really should be, when he gets his job, when he starts his new job, should be going straight to his office and making sure that everything's in order and that all the paperwork has got his signature on it and that the old one's taken off. That surely must be his ultimate job, to sort out his staff before he goes out to meetings and does all the other things. First of all, that's the first thing you should do. In any job, you don't just get in a car and carry on. You go to the office, don't you? Go to the main office and you find out what your chores are going to be, make sure all the paperwork's in order, then you go out and do your job. That's not what he's done. He's been paid for doing that, but he hasn't actually done it.
Negligence.
Yeah, I mean, in my book, if he hasn't touched all of this and checked out his paperwork, he should be held accountable for it himself, and for the fact that the ex-clerk signature has been used for the last 2.5 years. I think he should apologise to her as well for that signature carrying on being used whilst she wasn't even in office. I think the police themselves and the conclusion have come to, well, I think I will leave that to the general public to decide.
I think we all know where the consulences have originated from. We all know that. They come direct from a computer in a office, which is not the court.
Right, I think what we're going to do is, from here, we're going to finish this for now. I think we're going to do another
a
chat about it and look through the laws. Next time we run this, we're going to actually have the laws in front of us and how exactly they're supposed to conduct themselves, how things are supposed to be run. We're going to have a proper conversation on that.
But what we'll do is I'll explain what I'm going to do now on Monday. Is we're going to go to the court and we're going to ask for these documents.
Speak.
We're going to ask for the certificate of service and the summons that was sent out. And if they knock us back again, I might go in there with a clown outfit because it'd be quite funny because they seem to think you're a clown. Put it in writing. Well, you put it in writing, you just get knocked back every time. So, they must have it. They've got to have it in that office. That's the law, and we know it hasn't been registered. And I get told about how many times have I said that in the video? Twice. I'll do civil action, and the last one I said I will. The CEO has issued my sworn affidavit. And that was 3 forms, which is an opportunity to cure and a final default in April and May of this year. She totally ignored them. So I could activate my fee schedule at any moment. And we told Wendy Torelli, the assistant manager.
I think you're giving away too much of what's going to be on the next video.
Yeah, well, they know this, they know this. And she basically turned around to Nigel in the office and says, you won't get paid.
Her words.
You won't get paid. I'll take you to a civil court. I'll take you to a county court because what you've done is defaulted in commerce on my affidavit. The CEO didn't bother with me. She ignored it. She ignored every point I raised. I said, I am not refusing to pay council tax. I am withholding council tax until you, Ada Burns, can rebut my affidavit under your own unlimited liability or your own limited liability.
All she had to do.
That's all she had to do.
It's a simple explanation. I do, I don't.
I agree for this, I don't agree with that because they sent me a letter out saying, no, we don't agree with anything. Well, I didn't ask you, I asked her, and she hasn't rebutted any of my points, so she's at default. All sworn under oath, notarised by a solicitor, all done lawfully, Mr. McCarthy. Yeah, all done properly. So that's the next one. That's what a lot of people are asking, where do you go from here? Civil. They're just going rings around this, we're going round in circles, so it's time to sue them.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, exciting video ahead then now.
All part of the fun.
See what happens with it all. Right, over and out, YouTube. Goodbye.
Bye.